Hello there, it's me again, and I am bringing you indeed another Final Fantasy IX Remake related video. Now, I have had a blast just speculating on all this 25th anniversary madness, and I remain hopeful, but my expectations are always in check. It's the journey that I love. I love seeing the comments, everyone's ideas of what they want, and everything else in between. And I think that when it comes to light, it's going to be something truly special. So why am I making another video? Well, I really want to talk about what I would like out of a Final Fantasy IX remake. What I think a Final Fantasy IX remake needs for it to both appeal to us players that have played Final Fantasy IX and adore Final Fantasy IX, but for those players that have not played Final Fantasy IX, that have not played a Final Fantasy, what are the things that they can do? We're going to talk about all of it in today's video. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I'm splitting this video into little parts, so there are going to be timestamps down below in the description, so if you want to skip to a certain section, feel free. All I ask is you to support the channel, hit that like button, and if you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy content, you're already in the right place. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button. So, I am going to be talking about what I would like, or some changes from the original that I think it desperately needs. Now, I am pretty happy with the port that we already have of Final Fantasy IX. It's perfectly accessible, it's very well played, and because of mods as well, I've done many videos on mods, it is probably the best way to experience Final Fantasy IX as of right now. But I like to just step out of that realm and just talk about a potential Final Fantasy IX remake. So I want to start off, and I think we should probably start off with the story. What would I do to the story when it comes to it being remade? Well, I wouldn't go down the path of a Final Fantasy VII remake, not at all, and I don't think Square would do that either. I don't think anyone needs to fear that happening. I think this is going to stay true to form. I think with the inclusion of voice acting, keeping that theatre-like atmosphere, that Disney-like atmosphere that Final Fantasy IX kind of brings to the table is all it needs. We need to have all the bells and whistles, all of the grandiose in scale of its cutscenes brought to life through voice acting, an enhanced soundtrack, and sound effects as well to bring it all full circle. I think it just needs to be told exactly the same way it does. Maybe, just maybe, elaborate on a couple of the characters a little bit more. I would like more Freya and Sir Fratley for sure. Give me more of their history and really keep Freya around in the fray when her story arc has done, when we're doing all the shenanigans in Brumecia. The same can be said for Amarant. Amarant just comes out of the blue, has a little bit of a backstory of why he's there, but that's all he gets. I would love a little bit more, maybe plant some seeds earlier in the story. I know that they do subtle things here and there, but make them a little bit more apparent to what we can expect. I'm pretty happy with the rest of the characters. Heck, I think I know what I need to do right now. I need to talk about Beatrix. Beatrix needs the story arc of a lifetime, and she needs to be included in that party and be playable and take the fight to Kuja as we get towards the end of the game. I think that needs to be done. Apart from that, I guess I could probably throw in Necron. Necron can be out of the blue for some players. Some players can expect Necron, but I would like to have little bits of lore, maybe the Library of Alexandria, to allude to this force that's very unknown but is out there, or have a few little lore drops scattered around the world of Final Fantasy IX to build upon that, because I think Kuja is the final boss. And I did think, when playing for the first time, that was the final boss. And I was like, who's this weird looking naming boss that appears afterwards? It's a bit out of the blue for me, and I would like a little bit more elaboration. Apart from that, keep everything, keep the structure the same. I'd be very happy with that. The next important thing I want to talk about is combat, but before I talk about combat, let me tell you about our partners at Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a website where you can get Steam games at incredible prices, whether it is the original Final Fantasy IX, or if you want to go play a game that's just recently released, Instant Gaming has it all, and you can get them at great prices using my link down below. Also, I have a monthly giveaway for the opportunity to get any game off the website for completely free. All you gotta do, hit the link, hit the orange participate button, and then you're in for a chance. Not only will you be supporting the channel in doing this, but you'll also be saving some money. So thanks to Instant Gaming and happy shopping. And let's continue on talking about combat. Now, I think Final Fantasy IX's combat, especially going back playing the port of Final Fantasy IX, it's slow. The camera pan, and then I think there may be about another third camera pan before we get into battle. The fact that all of the characters have idle animations and ready animations when they're ready to attack. I think they might have different animations if they're casting a spell for Vivi and Garnet and maybe Aiko. But there's a lot of clunk to that battle system that makes it feel really slow. So, of course, take from the modern turn-based RPGs we've had, make it a little bit more snappy, maybe give it that flair in its menus, make it a bit more engaging in what you do. Maybe, just maybe, this is an idea, scrap ATB and just make it pure turn-based with a turn order on the left-hand side of the screen, or have the option between turn-based system and an ATB system. I really think turn-based would work really well for Final Fantasy IX just because each character represents a job and you can add a bit more strategy. You know, bring that Final Fantasy X turn battle system into Final Fantasy IX. Heck, maybe a bit of a swapping in and out as well. It could shake things up. I'm just getting wild ideas now. I didn't even have that on the notes to begin with, but it's something that you could do. Make that battle system more snappier. Also, I think we can all agree, trance needs to change. Just turn it into an overdrive limit break system. Let us be in control of it. Let's have some unique animations and just some real reason to use it and some real reason just to hold on to it till we get to a boss battle. And I think that's all I would like from a battle system. I'm really kind of sold on having it turn-based, a lot like Final Fantasy X, with some nice camera angles that the Persona series Expedition 33 introduces. And that might not be for everyone. There could be an option to turn that off, but make it snappy, make it engaging, make it well worth going into battles even when you don't want to grind. The next thing I want to talk about is ATEs, active time events, the most unique feature in Final Fantasy IX. The one thing that I love, the feature that keeps that theatre-like nature of Final Fantasy IX, the thing that keeps the story being told, gives us an insight of different characters at different times. I really like this. I would keep it in, but give us more time to mess around with it. Don't lock it out if we go off a screen. Let us know that it's still available to watch, and also have it in like a theatre viewer as well. Maybe we can go to Ruby's theatre and watch all of the ATEs that we've collected along the way, and that could be a thing for completionists to see if they've got anything. Heck, that would be a good way to add a bit more lore for characters like Freya, Sir Fratley, Amarant, etc. because I really think the ATEs keep the pacing of the story and gives you great context of the world of Final Fantasy IX. It's a thing that's going to be greatly improved upon with enhanced music fitting the scene and voice acting as well. Oh, it can be glorious, but ATEs need to stay in Final Fantasy IX for sure. Tetra Master. I could cop out and just say, hey, just bring back Triple Triad, but no, let's try and make Tetra Master great. Let's make it less RNG based. And I know there's going to be some people saying, oh, it's not RNG based. You need to look at all the numbers and all. I know there's some kind of technique to playing Tetra Master and getting a victory, but it's far too complex for a lot of people. All right, there's a reason why a lot of people don't like Tetra Master. But if there's a way to to refine it, a way to get more cards, give us rare cards. People like card collecting, all right? It's everywhere at the moment. Magic of the Gathering, Pokemon. Try and really dive into that. Give us rare variants of certain Tetra Master cards. Give me reason to collect them all, because the thing with Triple Triad is the whole refining cards into items is very hard to up that with going back to just a basic card game. And that's probably why, one of the reasons why Final Fantasy IX's Tetra Master was not well received. Give us another reason. Give us a collect book. Give us a binder. Really give us a reason to collect them. Let's go to Trino, show them off, and maybe we get rewards for getting certain cards. It would be glorious to have a Tetra Master that works and a Tetra Master that is appreciated. The world map. Of course, the world map needs to stay in, and I think one thing I should mention is I think this remake will be very true to form. I think we'll have it much akin, and I've said it very often, like a Trials of Mana remake, the way that it took its 2D game into a 3D space. It can do it for a pre-rendered game into a 3D space. Visions of Mana, that kind of effort that's put into its visuals. Heck, Romancing Saga 2 Remake is an awesome example of taking a game and giving it a nice coat of paint while making it feel like it's original. A world map that I always go back to and I talk about is Ni no Kuni. Now, Final Fantasy IX's world map, looking back on it, looked very bare, but imagine it being full of life, forests to explore, you have airships flying all the time. I know you had it in the PS1 version, but it was very bare bones. Give it a little bit more life as we go towards Limblum, make it more apparent we're near Limblum. While there's a war going off, maybe have, like, in the distance, having things go off. They've done this with things when it came to the end of the game, visually in it, especially when we got the mist as well. Keep all of that in, but give it a bit more of a flair. Ni no Kuni's world map is incredible. I think adding some sparklies for us to go explore, then combine that with Chocobo Hot and Cold, with all the Chocobos that we can get as well. The world map can be such a pleasure to explore. Land, sea, and air. A world map is a staple in Expedition 33. It brought it back and it was such a pleasure to play through. So make Final Fantasy IX's world map a pleasure to explore, and let us still annoy the Moogle as well. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about its graphical style. I touched on it just a minute ago with the world map. Maybe I should have had these reversed. But when it comes to exploring the world of Final Fantasy IX, a lot of people were like, well, let's keep it locked camera angles. I'll be happy with that. I would be happy with that too. But I would like to see, as we've seen in many games like Dissidia NT, we've seen it represented all over the place. Alexandria in a 3D space, being able to have a look at all of the rooftops and gaze over at the population of this town, and then seeing the castle of Alexandria in the distance with that big sword-like thing glimmering, and getting a perfect photo mode opportunity of like Vivi on the rooftop and position the camera. Oh, just imagine it. It sounds really good when I'm saying it. Will they execute it? I don't know. But having a 3D space to explore, I talk about Limblum before, and just being able to pan and look up in Limblum and just see the airships take off and go off in the distance using the mist. And as we go later into the game, like Limblum is under attack and the way that changes. But I would harken back to its past and have certain places, maybe when we go into an inn, have a fixed camera angle. I think the Memoria project did it with the inn at Alexandria, where it kept the fixed camera angle. Do something like that when we go into certain rooms. Keep the town itself explorable, but then maybe lock it into a camera angle, harkening back to that pre-rendered background of past when we go into certain rooms. I think that sums up the kind of remake I would like when it comes to Final Fantasy IX. Of course, I will cover news as and when it comes, and if I think it's relevant to talk about it. I know that we've had a Famitsu magazine cover revealed that looks like some CG artwork, and it really does. And then we've got a Zidane play arts figure that looks a lot like the Zidane in that Famitsu CG rendered scene. Like, things are coming together in my mind. I'm always on the cope and the hope and everything else in between, and I love talking about it, and I think it will happen, and we were still in the 25th anniversary window at the moment. We've got many gaming events coming up this year that could be the place. I I'm settling on in that it's coming out in 2026. We are going to see it. It hasn't been cancelled, and it's going to be going strong, and it's going to be just a glorious time. If not, we can look back on this video and just laugh a little bit and be like, hey, we were there for the ride. But my expectations are always in check. I love talking about this stuff. Let me know your thoughts on what you would like from a Final Fantasy IX remake. I know a lot of people instantly saying, well, as long as they don't do it like Final Fantasy VII, I'm fine with it, or they need to keep it the same. Just throw it all down in the comment section down below. I love reading it. I love seeing where people's passions lie and hopes and expectations are at. It's always a great time to discuss and just share thoughts on a potential Final Fantasy IX remake. So thank you in joining me in today's video. Don't forget to visit Instant Gaming to get games at incredible prices, including the original Final Fantasy IX. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.